Who would have thought that Dubai, the planet's biggest money-attracting magnet, would one day have its power cut off? Do you dare believe it? Following the final whistle of the 2026 World Cup, did the wave of applications for EB-5 investment visas and asset transfers from the UAE to the US explode? The skyscrapers of Dubai, the man-made islands symbolizing ultimate luxury, suddenly find themselves in a state of spiritual emptiness as private planes simultaneously head toward the west coast of the United States. The world has just witnessed a crazy paradox. Money can buy concrete peaks and pure gold in the desert, but it cannot buy the free energy, pure hospitality, and explosive optimism of the American people. Has checking in at the 7-star hotels in Dubai become outdated as the whole world is being bewitched by distinctly American experiences? Let's break into the world of travelers returning from the 2026 World Cup to see what weapon America used to make a once glamorous Dubai suddenly seem so unappealing. Have you ever wondered why, for decades, media empires needed us to be so afraid of America? They were very successful in building a solid wall of prejudice. America is a dangerous, rude place with absolutely no football skills. But the 2026 World Cup, the biggest tournament in history, became the explosion that shattered this propaganda machine. Millions of travelers landed at U.S. airports feeling apprehensive, only to be greeted by friendliness right from the border crossing. A crazy paradox unfolded online. Thousands of videos from the bedrooms of European fans confessed they couldn't sleep because they realized they'd been deceived their whole lives. For years and years, Europeans took the piss out of America. They're so loud. They're so rude. They're so stupid. Why is everything so big? Why do they love their country so much? All of those people are now eating their words because of the World Cup. People who would never normally go to America are going to America. Reaction videos are everywhere. People are loving it. They're loving the food. They're loving the culture. They're loving the people. They're loving the size of everything. People are finally starting to understand how amazing America truly is, instead of simply believing what the media and others have told them. Once you truly experience America, you won't want to go anywhere else in the world. I'm loving this for you, Americans. People are praising America so much. Especially the showmanship. Eagles flying around stadiums. Music. Dirt bikes doing flips. Everything is insane. I love it. I'm happy for you guys, Americans. The absolute safety here is a slap in the face to the local media. Tourists were astonished to see women carrying designer bags, walking alone in the park without being harassed. Okay, you got to check this out. There are people walking everywhere. There are women walking alone with fancy handbags, jewelry on, glasses on. They're not being harassed. Nothing. Then right here you've got a park. Not a speck of litter. Beautiful flowers. A bench that hasn't got someone attacking someone on it. Clean and tidy. You've got squirrels that haven't been eaten. This place is freaking awesome. Look at this. Spotless. Clean. Safe. This is what it feels like to live in a first world country. Look at this. There's another bench, and it's not vandalized, broken, or destroyed. If that was South Africa, first of all, I wouldn't be able to walk through this park by myself holding a pair of glasses and a cell phone. We all know that. But then you get here and you're completely safe. Completely safe. There's women everywhere walking completely alone. This is unfathomable to any South African watching this video. I'm in awe of the United States of America. It is so beautiful. It is so safe. Even safe for the squirrels. You can't make this up. This is too wonderful. All glory goes to God for preserving this wonderful country. The dangerous forbidden zones described in newspapers suddenly disappeared, replaced by cities where people were open-minded and welcoming. The world-class stadium system, far exceeding expectations, was packed with spectators. The record-breaking attendance shattered the stereotype that America doesn't care about football. I feel like I've been lied to my entire life about America. America, it is happening. Do you see it? People who aren't American and travel to the World Cup are realizing they've been lied to. Before traveling to America, foreigners only knew what they heard on the news. They thought it was a horrible place. But when you travel across different states, you realize the beauty of America. The different cultures. How amazing the people are. The World Cup has allowed people outside America to see the country through their own eyes instead of through their media. This is incredible. I couldn't be happier for America. The world is realizing how beautiful America really is. It is the best. It is my favorite country on planet Earth. Every state feels like its own country. There are so many different cultures. So much beautiful scenery. And people are finally realizing it. I couldn't be happier. I'm so happy for America and Americans. Yes. Yes. Mainstream media completely lost control when fans created their own videos and shared their personal experiences. They realized America wasn't like the movies, it was even more beautiful. The feeling of betrayal by their home media shifted trust toward first-hand experience. How much is the truth you see with your own eyes worth compared with thousands of hours of news? Are glamorous yet strict cities like Dubai becoming less attractive because people are tired of living through media filters? But remember, safety is only the outer layer. The real shock, the one quietly causing wealthy elites to pack their bags, lies in how Americans are redefining pleasure. Let's dive into the next section to discover what that luxury really is. Dubai boasts gilded skyscrapers, but America possesses a more powerful form of luxury, one hidden in the daily lives of its citizens. Let's start with air conditioning. What many British or German travelers consider a high-class privilege and a rarity in apartments is something found almost everywhere in America. This is roasting, 35 degrees. I've taken all my pictures outside. I just need to find some shade. I want to experience what it's like to walk into the stadium and feel the air conditioning. Oh, this is glorious. Absolutely glorious. It's like stepping into a fridge. Living the dream. I can feel myself rapidly cooling down. That's what dreams are made of. For many European travelers, the experience of stepping from the heat into perfectly air-conditioned buildings feels like a dream come true. Even American vehicles, such as the Jeep Wagoneer, feature air conditioning systems that blow cool air directly into the seats, making travel even more comfortable. But the real physical shock for many foreigners is America's culture of abundance. It starts with free refills. It continues with America's love of ice. Americans put ice in almost everything, from water to tea. For many visitors, these everyday comforts feel like luxuries that normally cost extra. This is probably the most American thing I've ever seen. We've got one size of Monster. Another size of Monster. And another size. And if that's still not big enough, there's an even bigger one. Oh my God. Look how huge these Arizona teas are. 2 for $3. I can't even hold this. Look at all these coffee flavors. Cappuccino. Double shot. Monsters. Dunkin' Dot. And even at a gas station you can fill your cup with all kinds of soft drinks. Oh my God. What is that? That's coffee. That's creamer. Oh my gosh. Decaf. Turbo. So many different kinds of coffee. This is crazy. I love it here. Look at those giant glasses of ice water. They're enormous. And you can refill them again and again without paying extra. For tourists, Walmart and Costco are no longer just supermarkets. They become museums of abundance. Huge food portions. Massive selections. Traditional soul food served in portions large enough for an entire family, yet priced for one person. Even rest stops like Buc-ee's have become symbols of America's unmatched convenience. This convenience extends beyond food. It includes technology. It includes service. Wi-Fi on domestic American flights is often faster than many home internet connections in Europe. And then comes customer service. One traveler accidentally booked the wrong date for a flight. Instead of simply refusing to help, an American Airlines employee spent extra time searching for another flight. Not only did he find one, he found a cheaper ticket. The traveler even received money back. American customer service is next level. I booked the wrong day for my flight. I didn't realize until I arrived at the airport. I started to panic. I went to the American Airlines desk. The employee was genuinely worried for me. He wanted to help. He went out of his way to find me another ticket. I couldn't believe how much effort he made. It was even a cheaper flight. I got $36 back. What an absolute legend. Now I'm sitting at the gate, ready to fly to Boston. Shout out to that guy. I can't remember his name. But the American Airlines employee at Dallas Airport. Absolute legend. Is true luxury when the most luxurious conveniences become everyday standards for everyone? Would you choose a golden tower in the desert? Or an endless glass of cold water surrounded by a culture of abundance? Material comfort alone can never create happiness. Without the human heart, luxury feels empty. And America's greatest weapon isn't its buildings. It's its people. In glamorous places like Dubai, money can buy the finest services. But in America, there's something you often receive for free. Selfless kindness. The human element became the ultimate weapon that shattered years of negative media stereotypes. Across social media, stories spread about an American stranger wearing a hat who quietly paid for an entire group of foreign football fans' drinks simply because he wanted them to feel welcome. A Scottish couple even broke down in tears after visiting a restaurant in Alabama. The owner not only served them with incredible hospitality, he refused to let them pay. He even gave them free souvenirs to remember their visit. We have literally just had the best restaurant experience we'll probably ever have. Not to be dramatic. Liberty Restaurant in Scottsboro, Alabama, has to be the best restaurant and diner experience we've ever had. Not just in Alabama. Not just in the South. But maybe in the whole USA. Maybe even the world. She's not exaggerating. The people working there were nothing but kind. They welcomed us with huge smiles. The lady kept calling me baby. They were so friendly. We ordered dessert. Then one of the ladies brought us another dessert for free because she wanted us to try it. It was amazing. Another employee came over and gave us a free fridge magnet. They asked for our YouTube and Instagram. They said they'd tell everyone about us. They even gave us a marker and invited us to sign their restaurant wall. We were so touched. We decided we wanted to leave a really big tip. But when we asked to pay, the owner smiled. He said, "I've already taken care of your bill. You're not paying today." We couldn't believe it. We kept insisting. But he refused. Our jaws dropped. It was simply too kind. We didn't even have enough cash to leave a proper tip. He just kept smiling and said, "It's covered." This kindness isn't limited to individuals. It spreads throughout the entire system. In Boston, city leaders celebrated international friendships during the World Cup. American police officers were seen dancing with fans, taking selfies, laughing in the streets. For visitors from countries where police are viewed as distant or intimidating, this completely changed their expectations. Everywhere people went, they were greeted with smiles. Warm eye contact. Friendly conversations. A simple question. How was your day? When storms struck Houston, complete strangers offered tourists free rides back to their hotels. They expected nothing in return. The culture of respectfully calling people sir and ma'am made many visitors feel genuinely valued. Across Middle America, families invited complete strangers to free backyard barbecues. National borders suddenly felt meaningless. How long has it been since a complete stranger treated you like a real person, instead of just another customer? Is unconditional kindness becoming one of the rarest forms of wealth in today's world? But this kindness isn't accidental. It comes from something much deeper. A powerful spirit of confidence, optimism, and belief in people. That spirit continues to attract talent from every corner of the world. The confidence that many outsiders once dismissed as arrogance is now being understood in a completely different way. The American confidence that was once labeled as arrogance by international media is now being understood for what it truly is. It is a mindset developed from childhood. Many international visitors were surprised to discover that American children begin learning public speaking and presentations at a very young age. From 4 or 5 years old, children are encouraged to stand in front of others, express themselves, and be proud of their ideas. This is supported by a unique culture of encouragement. Americans openly celebrate the success of others. Instead of jealousy or resentment, they often respond with genuine excitement and support. The famous "let's go" spirit, the willingness to work hard, the determination to chase goals, creates people who appear energetic, optimistic, and excited about life. To truly understand this spirit of freedom, you also have to understand America's enormous size. America isn't just one country. It feels like an entire continent filled with endless opportunities. Its landscapes stretch from deserts to forests to mountains to tropical regions. Some numbers are difficult for visitors to believe. The state of Texas alone is so large that it could contain the Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, Austria, and even parts of France combined. That incredible amount of space helped shape a culture where people are encouraged to think big, take up space, speak confidently, and pursue opportunities without constantly worrying about the opinions of others. European tourists were amazed to see enormous American flags displayed proudly almost everywhere. For many visitors, this represented something they rarely experienced back home. They began to understand the value Americans place on personal freedom, national pride, and individual expression. The question naturally follows: would you rather live in a society that teaches people to stay small, or in one that encourages them to stand tall and shine? What is true freedom, if not the ability to live confidently without fear? But America's powerful spirit goes beyond everyday confidence. It reached its highest point during one unforgettable moment in the summer of 2026. The 2026 FIFA World Cup happened to coincide with the 250th anniversary of American Independence Day. This historic combination created an atmosphere unlike anything many visitors had ever experienced. International fans didn't simply watch the celebrations. They became part of them. Visitors from Europe eagerly searched for American flag clothing. Many dressed like Texans. Others painted their faces with American colors. Everywhere they went, they heard one message: freedom reigns. English supporters celebrated in the streets. Fireworks filled the skies. People danced together regardless of nationality. One of the most unforgettable traditions was tailgating. Huge barbecues filled stadium parking lots before matches. Fans from rival countries, who had spent hours cheering against each other, suddenly became friends over burgers, barbecue, drinks, and conversation. American hospitality erased competition. Neighbors exchanged coffee, beer, food, and laughter. On lakes across the country, hundreds of boats tied together to create floating communities filled with music and celebration. When July 4th arrived, the night sky exploded with fireworks beyond anything many international visitors had ever imagined. Wherever tourists traveled, they were greeted with warm smiles and cheerful wishes of Happy 4th. The emotional transformation became so powerful that many visitors admitted they felt genuinely healed by the positivity, the patriotism, And the kindness they experienced throughout America, actual figures from airlines revealed an extraordinary trend. Thousands of football fans willingly paid cancellation fees just to stay in America for one more week and continue enjoying the atmosphere. What kind of nation makes strangers want to celebrate its birthday more than their own national holiday? What kind of soft power can create that feeling? Have you ever felt deeply connected to a place after experiencing its unity for only a few hours? But after every unforgettable celebration, reality eventually arrives. Many visitors were forced to return home. That return became one of the hardest parts of the entire journey. A warning quickly spread across immigration forums. Many Europeans joked that they would hate America after the World Cup. Not because they disliked it, but because they had to leave it. When the final whistle blew, many visitors experienced what people began calling post-World Cup depression. English, German, and many other international fans returned home feeling emotionally drained. They suddenly felt disconnected from their own countries. Late at night, many lay awake remembering the refreshing cool air they had enjoyed in America. But the air conditioning wasn't what they missed the most. What hurt even more was the silence. The feeling that strangers back home rarely smiled, rarely greeted each other, rarely made eye contact. After experiencing American warmth, that emotional distance became impossible to ignore. Many travelers found themselves missing the peaceful front porches, the rocking chairs, the wide roads, the open spaces. The small, crowded homes they returned to suddenly felt restrictive. For some Scottish fans, living in America had become such a dream that they spent nearly all of their savings just to stay for a month. Returning home felt heartbreaking. The song "Please Don't Take Me Home" was no longer just a football chant. It became an emotional plea. Many visitors admitted that what truly collapsed wasn't just their vacation. It was their trust in the image of America they had believed for years. The energetic spirit they experienced in the United States stood in sharp contrast to the routine they returned to. As a result, interest in moving to places like Texas and Florida reportedly grew stronger than ever. One question remained in the minds of countless travelers as they boarded their flights home. Americans, what have you done to me? Is home simply the place where you were born? Or is it the place where your heart finally feels at peace? Why are so many successful people, including wealthy individuals from places like Dubai, choosing to begin new lives in America? All of these emotions, the regret, the longing, the emptiness, led toward one final conclusion. Let's move to the conclusion. Part 7. Part 7, Conclusion. Dubai may spend billions of dollars building the tallest skyscrapers in the world. But America has built something that money cannot buy. Strong, living, human communities. After the 2026 World Cup, many people around the world felt they had discovered an important truth. True luxury is not measured by gold or by towering buildings. It is found in freedom, daily comfort, human connection, and an abundance of everyday opportunities. The real difference is not between rich and poor. It is between places that feel carefully manufactured and places that feel naturally alive. America's greatest soft power does not come from weapons, politics, or media campaigns. It comes from everyday experiences. A delicious burger shared with friends. A stranger offering kindness without expecting anything in return. An endless glass of ice-cold water. A warm smile. The true beauty of the United States is not limited to famous cities like New York or Los Angeles. It also lives in small towns across Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, and countless other communities where people continue to preserve the country's welcoming spirit. These are the places where strangers can become friends. Sometimes after nothing more than watching a football match together. After years of criticism and negative stereotypes. Many people felt America was finally receiving the appreciation they believed it deserved. The 2026 World Cup became more than just a sporting event. For many visitors, it became an emotional experience, a reminder of optimism, community, and human connection. The quiet movement of people, talent, and investment toward the United States was presented as a reflection of a search for genuine relationships rather than material luxury alone. Instead of being impressed only by enormous buildings in the desert, many visitors found themselves appreciating simple acts of hospitality. For many, that became the new standard of luxury. The message left behind after this unforgettable summer was clear. The world remembered why so many people had always dreamed of visiting America. Are we witnessing the end of an era focused only on material luxury, and the return of values centered on people? If tomorrow you had the opportunity to completely change your life, which would you choose? The place with the world's tallest towers, or the place where kind people welcome you? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to follow so you won't miss the next discussion. The 2026 World Cup may have ended, but its impact extends far beyond football. According to the video's perspective, it opened a new chapter in the global competition for cultural influence, talent, and investment. America didn't simply host one of the biggest sporting events in history. It changed millions of people's perceptions. The message was simple. Buildings covered in gold can never replace a nation built on freedom, kindness, optimism, and human connection. People may be influenced by headlines, movies, or social media, but nothing is more powerful than personal experience. If tomorrow you had the chance to begin a completely new life, would you choose an oasis surrounded by the world's tallest towers, or a place filled with freedom, opportunity, and welcoming people? If you found this perspective interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more discussions and future analyses. Disclaimer: this content is based on trend observations, popular cultural experiences, and collections of opinions shared by international fans following the 2026 World Cup. References to migration trends, investment movements, or psychological reactions are presented as commentary on social discussions and media narratives. They should not be interpreted as investment, legal, immigration, or professional advice. Viewers should make their own informed decisions based on reliable sources. It changed millions of people's perceptions. The message was simple. Buildings covered in gold can never replace a nation built on freedom, kindness, optimism, and human connection. People may be influenced by headlines, movies, or social media, but nothing is more powerful than personal experience. If tomorrow you had the chance to begin a completely new life, would you choose an oasis surrounded by the world's tallest towers, or a place filled with freedom, opportunity, and welcoming people? If you found this perspective interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more discussions and future analyses. Disclaimer: this content is based on trend observations, popular cultural experiences, and collections of opinions shared by international fans following the 2026 World Cup. References to migration trends, investment movements, or psychological reactions are presented as commentary on social discussions and media narratives. They should not be interpreted as investment, legal, immigration, or professional advice. Viewers should make their own informed decisions based on reliable sources.